Despite having over 800 statues on this table, there are some statues I really want to buy, but I don't.
Come on, don't bullshit me.
And it's not about hashtag restraint. So hashtag restraint is just me being a little more responsible. I talk about it every month on our first video of each month, Extreme Expos. But today we're going to do a countdown of 10 statues that I really, really want, but I'm refusing to buy. Each one for a little bit different reason. And price, money, has nothing to do with it. My wife might have something to do with it, though. Hey, my name is Mr. X. Welcome to the Extreme Channel. We are giving away $1,000 statues to you guys. If you want to know how to win one, stay tuned for later in the video. Hey, welcome to another statue countdown on the Extreme Channel. So I did a video a while back. If I can remember, I'll throw the thumbnail up here of things I want to buy but I don't, but I wasn't specific to statues. So since this is mainly a collected related channel, I thought, you know what are statues that I've really been dying to buy and has nothing to do with price, although some of these are very pricey. I would love to put on this table, kind of a spoiler, some are too big to put on this table, but I just haven't. And then why haven't I? So I came up with 10, and we're going to count them down in order, from 10 being my least desirable, although it's still highly desirable, obviously, because it made this list. Man, I ran out of breath saying that. All the way to number 1. So if I was going to buy all these, I would buy them in the order of number 1 through number 10. Even though I'm going to give you the list 10 through number 1. Now, before we do that, I wanted to branch out a little bit more than just statues, so I have some honorable mentions in collectibles too, so we're going to go over those as well. But before we do, we are pushing for 40,000 subs, and I want to hear what your desired collectible is that's not price related why you haven't bought it, but some other weird reason. Throw down in the comments below what collectible you really want to buy, and you just haven't, and it's not due to money. As we try to grow this channel, we like to reward you guys for watching and subscribing. So because of that, every 5,000 milestone when it comes to subscribers, we give away a couple $1,000s worth of statues. We've actually given away over 20 statues. To win one was easy. First, you gotta be subscribed to the channel. You'll get bell notifications when videos drop. Each video that drops, you wanna make a comment on those videos. We pick a random video, we give away statues based on a comment. You can say whatever you want. The more videos you comment on, the higher your chances are to win. Okay, so some of the honorable mentions are a little bit of a cheat. They're kind of a group of collectibles, if you will. And starting with the first one, the Prime 1 Death Metal line. So these are Death Metal statues. They have a few different ones. I own the Dark Knight Metal, but not the Death Metal line, which is an offshoot of that particular story. Now, I haven't bought those for two reasons. One is due to space, and two is I don't know that storyline at all. Another honorable mention is something I used to own. I would love to have back the Iron Studios Sentinel setup. Now, the reason I got rid of this, it was so hard to display unless you put it in the middle of a room. And where my setup here is at home, I have nothing that would work like that unless I took away where we actually watch TV, which I don't want to do. So I would love to have that back, especially with all the new additions they've done since then. My other three honorable mentions are not statue related, but they are collectible related. So first, I have a bunch of lightsabers, and I actually now have them mounted on a wall. You can see in some recent videos, and I think it looks great. I would love to have more lightsaber hilts. Now, the reason I haven't bought any of these, there's specific ones I want. Like I want Darth Malgus, I want Darth Vader. I have an entire list of which ones I want. Is in full disclosure, all the ones I own were sent to me for free, so I just can't justify buying more because they're like $200 to $300 each for the good ones. Next one is an autograph, so a specific autograph. Now there's more than one I want, but this one is, I should have done it before he died because once they die, it's really expensive. But I have autographs of most of my favorite movies and or actors, and I missed out on the best James Bond, Sean Connery. Yes, I wish I would have gotten a Sean Connery autograph as James Bond or maybe some of his other characters, but specifically James Bond. And that's making this list. It's not about money, it's just about rarity and the fact that I should have bought it before he died, and I was even contemplating that. In fact, I've talked about it before. Sometimes that's my strategy for autographs. I think, who's going to die soon? And the last one is some CGC comics. I want Fantastic Four number 1 and number 5 in a high grade. So with that being said, maybe this one is about money, honestly. Or maybe it's the fact my wife would kill me if I actually spent the money that I wanted to. And for those of you that are unfamiliar, even a Fantastic Four number 1 and like a 1.0 or less is extremely expensive. I mean, thousands and maybe even tens of thousands of dollars. So let's get to the top 10 list. All of these are statues, and they are specific statues. So number 10, I've actually seen in person, and that's one of the reasons I haven't bought it, but it's the life-size Terminator by Sideshow. So the reason I haven't bought this, I didn't think it was very good. It wasn't as impressive in person as it should be, but I definitely want a life-size endoskeleton someday. Maybe another company will make one. Hint, hint, Queen Studios, somebody like that. But this just didn't look as good as I thought it should, especially the guns. So when you're going to spend $8,000, you want it to look fantastic. I didn't think this does. Number 9 is kind of a weird one. It's one I've just been eyeing, and the reason I'm not getting it, it wouldn't go with the flow of my collection at all. I have one Joker, one Batman in third scale. This is a Jokerized Batman or a Batmanized Joker. It's the Prime 1 Joker dressed as Batman. I love this statue. I love the concept of it. While I've never read the source material, I love the switch outs. Has a rare ES of 100, and I just can't figure out where it would work in my display. Like I said, I have one Batman, one Joker, and then all the villains, and then the Dark Knight metal line. In fact, make sure to stay tuned for later this year because we will be doing a room tour probably in about a month and a half, or actually from when this launches, probably in about a month or so. Make sure you've not only liked this video, but you've subbed to the channel and hit the bell notification to see that. Number 8 is some Prime 1 Predators. So I have them all on order except the Celtic and the Chopper. So these are the two on the sides. I do have the Scar on order. He was kind of the main character in AVP. But the rest had such short lives, I can't justify spending another $7,000 plus on 2 Predators, especially when there's not going to be space for them. And I think the Scar does fine with these matching bases, but I would love to have them all, but I'm just not going to do it. Number 7 is the Queen Studios Dark Knight Armory. Now the problem with this is I just want the Armory, and I don't believe you can buy just the Armory. You have to get the Batman statue. I don't like human-size, life-size statues that actually have a person inside them. I have an Iron Man and a Spider-Man and some others, but for some reason it just bugs me. So I would want just the Armory, and I probably would buy that if they offered that without the Batman. So this is by Queen Studios. Very cool piece, comes in at number 7. Number 6 is another life-size piece. It's by Sideshow Collectibles. It's their Darth Vader. So I really want a life-size Darth Vader. Again, you can't tell someone's in the suit. But I don't like the pose on this. While I understand it's a quintessential Vader pose, it is just not for me. It looks goofy. I'm not sure which kind of pose I would want. Maybe his arms even at his side might be better. But it's the pose that really ruins this for me. And again, if you're spending however much this is, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, you want it absolutely perfect. Number 5 I actually had on order, and the reason why I canceled it originally is twofold. One, it's missing some characters I'm going to talk about, and 2, it's one of those has to be in the center of a room display. It is the XM Studios Sentinel vs. X-Men diorama. I think this is fantastic, but it is so hard to display properly, and it doesn't have Wolverine, and I'm pretty sure it didn't have Cyclops either. It's like, come on. You're going to do a huge, expensive, giant diorama without some of the quintessential X-Men? That is a huge mistake in my opinion. Definitely need Wolverine, which is why I kind of like the Iron Studios better. But this is on my list as number 5. Number 4 is Prime 1 Studios Tusked Alien. Now the reason why this is, I really love this piece. I absolutely do. But the scale just doesn't make sense. If you're going to buy their Warrior Alien, it makes sense. But otherwise, it doesn't scale with their Queen Alien, their Rogue Alien, their 1/3 aliens. And I hate mixing scales. I have it in a display actually right over there, and it's bugging me just sitting here. I'm starting to shake. So Prime 1 Studios Tusked Alien I think looks great from the comics. But because of the scale and also the displayability, it would have to be up high because he's hunching over so much. That is why he comes in at number 4. Number 3 is along those same lines. It is the Prime 1 Studios Queen Alien diorama. So while this would scale with a Rogue Alien statue I actually have, you would want them to face off. And again, it's one of those things, I did the measurements, you'd have to have like 5 feet of space to put them in the center of a room and have them face off against each other. Mr. X, couldn't you put them next to each other? Yeah, you can, but they're just not meant to be like that. They're meant to be facing off each other. And that also hurts your displayability as well. So if I'm going to make that kind of investment, I'm not going to go with it. And I know a lot of people were guessing this was one of the statues I was going to get, but this doesn't make sense because this is launching like a month and a half after I tape it. God, time travel's hard. All right, my last 2 are by Queen Studios. They are life-size pieces. Now I want to be very clear. This list is statues that already exist. Either recently or in the future, I'm doing a video, because I've already recorded it, again, difficult time travel, of statues I want to be made. These are statues that already exist. I really want, but I'm not going to buy. But Queen Studios Mark II Iron Man. So I'm not buying this for a few reasons. The biggest being it was such a small scene time within the Iron Man movie. The other one is I feel like the progression of Iron Man suits. So I would own this one if I bought it. Then I have the Mark 7 and the Mark 85. I think that's great progression throughout the MCU. But I think you need the Mark 1 as well. So if the Mark 1 came out, this one I actually might get. But then again, it's like, okay, so if I'm going to buy the Mark 1, spend $20,000 more. I know I said this wasn't about price, but when I keep spending the money, Mrs. X gets mad at me. So it's more about her than me spending the money. Yeah, that's my story. I'm sticking with it. Number one is I have no place to store it. I do, but it would be right when you walk into my home, and Mrs. X would not allow that. I got the Balrog out of there, but Queen Studios Life-Size Hulkbuster. I want this so bad. Not going to lie to you. But I have no possible place to put it. If it was weather resistant, I would so do this and put it in my backyard and just spend all my time out there. But I know it's not weather resistant, and I'm jealous of anyone who can have like a gallery and own this. Maybe someday I'll open a statue gallery, but wow. Would love to own this giant, giant piece. So that's my list. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And again, if you haven't, comment below what would be on your list. Hey, thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Again, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do that. It's free, easy, and really helps me and gets us to our next giveaway. I appreciate you guys watching. I'll talk to you soon. Take care.